Yo, check this out.
Did Europe just declare war on the United States? It sounds insane, but look at this. European nations have officially deployed military personnel to Greenland. This isn't a drill. It is a direct, desperate signal to President Trump that they are willing to fight to stop his acquisition of the island. Canada's Mark Carney has pledged military support against the United States through the use of NATO's Article 5 to defend Greenland.
Wow, so NATO's ready to make a move on us. They mobilizing their troops against us. Like after all that America has done for Europe, for NATO, America's the only power that's been keeping NATO alive. But Donald Trump don't care.
Future of Greenland is a decision for Greenland and for the Kingdom of Denmark. We are NATO partners with Denmark, and so our full partnership stands. Our obligations on Article 5, Article 2 of NATO stand, and we stand full square behind those.
But if you think this display of force will intimidate the new administration, you're making a fatal miscalculation. Because while the media paints this as a standoff, the reality is much simpler. The old order is collapsing. Today, the World Economic Forum meets in Davos, but the champagne isn't flowing like it used to. Donald Trump is arriving with the largest U.S. delegation in history, not to negotiate with the globalists, but to dictate their terms of surrender. I'm Barbara Boyd, and I've spent decades tracking the globalist financial dictatorship that has run the West since 1971, the exact year the WEF was founded. This is not a coincidence, and what is happening in Davos right now is the end of that era. In this update, we are breaking down three things the mainstream media is terrified to tell you. First, the truth about Europe's suicide mission in Greenland. Second, how Trump's raid on Davos is dismantling the WEF from the inside. And third, and finally, the new economic institutions being built right now by Trump to replace their dying system. If this is your cup of tea, please like and share this video. It increases our reach on YouTube. As you know, President Trump is negotiating with Denmark to secure Greenland as a U.S. possession. He is offering to buy it outright, but has not taken military force off the table if that is necessary to secure this vital national security goal. Beginning midweek last week, the Danes and the Brits organized European NATO members to fly into Greenland. They declared this to be a signal to the United States that significant NATO partners would be willing to militarily defend Greenland against the United States if it came to that. As usual, the major effort was a propaganda assault on Donald Trump's character. He was portrayed worldwide as a modern-day gunboat imperialist, robbing the 57,000 inhabitants of Greenland of their chosen destiny. Now, Greenland is still owned by the Danes due to the historical accident called the Danish Empire. President Trump responded to the military deployment by noting that the U.S. has subsidized the Danes and all other European countries involved for decades. Not only that, but the Danish Empire ceased to exist in 1953. We never charged these countries tariffs before. We provided military defense to them without charge. Here is more of what the president said. Quote, "This is a very dangerous situation for the safety, security, and survival of our planet. These countries who are playing this very dangerous game have put a level of risk in play that is not tenable or sustainable." He went on to announce that unless a deal is reached to secure Greenland for the United States by February 1st, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the UK, the Netherlands, and Finland will see a 10% tariff on their exports to the U.S., a new one. If there's no deal by July 1st, that tariff will be increased by 25%. These are, of course, the very same countries who are fighting to keep the Ukraine war going and its slaughter going, despite Trump's best efforts at peace. Let's listen to Secretary Scott's message yesterday on Greenland's strategic location and its irreplaceable role in defending the U.S. from an attack from the north.
President Trump strongly believes that we cannot outsource our security because, Kristen, let me tell you what will happen, and it might not be next year, might not be in 5 years, but down the road, this fight for the Arctic is real. And if there were an attack on Greenland from Russia, from some other area, we would get dragged in. So better now, peace through strength, make it part of the United States, and there will not be a conflict, because the United States right now, we are the hottest country in the world. We are the strongest country in the world. The Europeans project weakness. The U.S. projects strength.
The United States military planners have sought to acquire Greenland ever since the Civil War. Its strategic location is central to repelling any attack from the north. Europe's current anti-American stance underlines why the acquisition is now even more critical. They just told us they're willing to go to war with the United States.
See, this is the slumber that we're waking up from, that even after the Revolutionary War, we're still English subjects. And this is what the whole deep state consisted of. These European companies and bankers and families that still controlled the world from the low. You know, that's what the Fed was. And now this is what Donald Trump and his MAGA team and the whole movement is fighting against. And it's a good thing. It's because we're not with all that WEF shit and the globalists thinking they're going to take over the world, and, you know, we rent everything and don't own anything and we're happy. Nah, we ain't going for it. So go Trump. And as always, this is KAR News coming at you with the exclusive. So like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.